What's up YouTube, it's Kira here and we're back with another video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kirarai, and if you are returning, then welcome back. So today, guys, is the final video of the 3-part series, So You Want to Be a Dance Major. 2 weeks ago we talked about auditions, last week we talked about the program in itself, and today we're going to be talking about student life. We're going to be sitting back, chilling, talking about the vibe of the department, things like discounts, if we get discounts on dance clothing, all that stuff. What's it like? Is it competitive? Is it serious? All that. So before we get started, make sure you are subscribed and that you hit the notification bell as well. I will be posting videos about college and things like advice and things about TCU, all that good stuff every Friday. So if you are interested and don't want to miss it, make sure you're subscribed and you get notifications, because you just don't want to miss it. So let's go ahead and get started. So, like I said in the intro, today we're talking about just the overall student life and vibe of the dance department. So I did receive questions on these as well, and I will be reading them off my computer, so just letting y'all know if I'm looking back and forth, that is why. So right off the bat, we have a question about technique classes and what they look like and just things like that. So I guess it doesn't really fall into student life, but I guess it kind of does because students take dance classes. So starting off with, what is a technique class? A technique class is basically where you receive the root of your training. You're gonna focus and build on things like your, regular standard technique, things like movement quality, rhythm, coordination, musicality, all that good stuff. So yeah, in technique classes, that's what we learn. The technique classes that we have at TCU are basically ballet and modern. Every now and then, you have like jazz and stuff, but honestly, in my opinion, it's a rarity. Yeah, ballet and modern are the main focus, just because the department, like, you major in ballet or modern, so that's where most of our training is going to be in. But we do have other classes such as like choreo and contact improv, and then just regular improvisation, and then we have international dance forms. But in terms of like our main technique classes that everyone takes, that is specifically ballet and modern. And what do they look like? So honestly, let's see, ballet, every teacher has their own style just because they come from different backgrounds. We've got teachers that dance with Dance Theater of Harlem. We've got teachers that dance with Alonzo Kings and Milwaukee Ballet. We've got dancers from all over. So yeah, everyone has their different style. I think honestly in ballet, all of them are quite enjoyable and they challenge you in a different way. But yeah, a ballet class is just a regular, schmegular, standard old ballet class. You come in, you start with your bar, and then you do your center, and we do rises and all that stuff. Occasionally we do have a teacher named Adam who does floor bar, but it's kind of a rarity. But yeah, floor bar is very interesting. But yeah, and then speaking on modern, we have Horden. There's Horden, there's Limon, there's Cuban technique, there's like a very, very tiny bit of Graham, very tiny bit of Graham. Let's see, and then you just have like more general, I guess, style modern with professors who don't really focus on something specific, but just, move how they like to move, and then they teach that to us, which I find quite enjoyable. But that's what pretty much our technique classes look like. Again, I mentioned this in the video last week. Sometimes it's a hit or miss. And again, I feel like any department is like that. Some classes are more enjoyable than others, but that doesn't mean that they are not valuable. So yeah, that's how I get to have to go into it and see it to get me through sometimes. So yeah, moving on to our next question is, what is the vibe like? Is it serious? Is it competitive? How do I answer this? So let me first speak on the community. The community itself, I would say, is just very like chill and nice. And then when I think about classes, like when we're actually in the studio, that's when it can be a little bit serious. And too serious in my opinion. I say this just because I come from a background where my high school where I trained at, like, it was the perfect mix of having fun in class, but also, being serious and learning in a, efficient and effective way. But at TCU, I don't know, I just feel like sometimes it's so serious where you just can't like be yourself. But I mean, eventually you grow out of that. I definitely felt like that more so when I was a freshman than I do now. Now I just learned to, you know, I just kind of do my own thing. And, you know, I like to have fun. I think that dance is an art where, you know, it's good to be serious and, you know, show that you care about it and how you present yourself in class. But I also think that in dance we forget that we are human, and that humans laugh, humans cry, humans, you know, get mad and all that stuff, and it's okay to bring that emotion into the studio sometimes. So that's kind of what I like to do. More emphasis on the laughing part. Not that I just kind of act like a clown in class, obviously no, but I do like to, you know, remember to not be a robot sometimes. So yeah, in terms of the vibe inside the classroom, I can say it's a little bit too serious for me. Definitely not competitive, which I think is really nice. Or if it is competitive, it's like a healthy competitive, like, you know, in your head you say, okay, I'm gonna do the combination like them, or I'm gonna try to do the combination better than them. You know, just kind of like that mental, we're gonna push each other we're gonna push each other to get better. Kind of like that, but it's definitely not like a negative and toxic type of competitive. No. Yeah, so that's how I would answer that question. So now moving on to, let's see, what does that say? Moving on to male to female ratio. So there are like no men in the department. I'm just joking. There are men, but very, very, very limited number. I'd say, let's see, with my class alone, I'm class of 2023, there was one man that came in. Just one dude. Just one. Out of the sea of females. Like, wow, I can't imagine. But yeah, there are not a lot of men in the department. I'd say, I think there's about like 60, maybe a little under 60 people total in the department, and out of that there are probably no more than 7 men. So yeah, not very many, but I'm hoping more are coming to join. You know, I love dancing with male dancers. I think it's really fun. So yeah. Male to female ratio is not even at all, but I mean that's kind of expected, you know. I think most dance departments are filled with females anyway, so yeah. But we want men. If you want to dance, it's okay. You can dance, doesn't matter, anyone can dance. Dance does not discriminate. Okay, come join us. Moving on to our next question, it says, what do classmates say they want to do after graduation? So this is kind of similar to a question that I answered last week. Last week it was asking, do your teachers expect you to dance after graduation? And I said no. And I guess that's like a perfect segue into this question, because in terms of things that I've heard my classmates say, and some of these answers I've heard from people I dance with now in college, but others, you know, I've heard throughout the years, you know, in high school and everything. But I've heard people say they want to be a doctor, a professional dancer, a surgeon, a marine biologist, like all these answers far from being a dancer, which is, you know, really cool and awesome, because just because you major in dance in college does not mean that you have to make a career out of it. And this has been, you know, advice that I've had to take for myself personally, because I always felt like, oh, because I've been dancing all my life, it's been an expectation for me to do it as a professional career, and that's the only thing that I can do. But I've kind of started venturing into other things and, you know, seeing things in a different way and really evaluating what I want to do for my life. So, you know, just because I'm majoring in dance, or just because you're majoring in dance, does not mean that you have to continue with that. You can do whatever you want. You know, there are a ton of stories where it's like, oh, I majored in business, or I majored in chemical engineering. I don't even know if that's a real thing, but I majored in chemical engineering, and now I'm like a yoga instructor or something. You know, like, there's so many stories where people did this and ended up doing this. So, you know, don't think that I majored in this, I have to do this. This is the only thing I can do. No, there's so many options. There's so many things you could do in this world. Choose what you want to do. Be passionate about it. And, you know, if it changes, then that's okay too. I have, you know, changed what I wanted to do for my career many times. And sometimes it involved dance and sometimes it didn't. And that is okay. That is okay. So yeah, and hearing, frankly, the way that all my friends answered the question, you know, hearing that they want to be a surgeon or, you know, all that stuff, and knowing that those people who said that are actually in school now, not studying dance, but studying something else in order for them to reach that goal, you know, like, anything's possible. So, yeah, you don't have to be a professional dancer just because you majored in dance. And if you want to, then do it. It's fine. Okay, so now moving into our next question. Do ballet majors have to take modern classes and vice versa? So your first 3 years, whoa, not 3 years. Your first 3 semesters, everyone is required to take ballet and modern 5 days a week. Regardless if you're just a modern major or just a ballet major or a BAMO. Everyone has to do it. It's a requirement. However, once you reach your 4th semester and on, you could then choose what you want to focus in. So I'm a modern major, so after I finished my first 3 semesters, I only had to take modern classes, but I got to choose if I wanted to take ballet as an elective. And then same with ballet majors. If you're a ballet major, then after you're done with those first 3 semesters, you only take ballet classes and you get to choose if you want to continue taking modern classes as an elective or not. I personally would take that other class as an elective because as a dance major, you do have to have 9 credit hours of electives, and you know, it's like knocking out 2 birds in 1 stone, you know, continuing on in your technique and growing while also, you know, getting that college credit. So I personally would do the other class. If you don't want to, then it's okay. There are other ways to get your elective. Yeah, and then, let me speak on if you're a BAMO major. So if you are a ballet and modern major, also known as BAMO major, as I mentioned in my auditions video, you do have to continue taking ballet, not 5, but 4 days a week. So yeah, 4 days a week you will take ballet and modern every day, and one day you'll get what is called a BAMO day, and that's basically your rest day, because it is, you know, we're in college, dancing 5 days a week, 4 days a week, 2 technique classes every day is very difficult, you know, and sometimes you have 3-hour rehearsals after that. So you do get a rest day, and that's what your BAMO day is, but only BAMO majors get that, because if you're a single track major, then you basically have rest days every day. If you're not taking that other class, you only have 1 technique class a day. So yeah. Do you receive a discount on dance attire? Heck yeah, we do, y'all. So right down the street from TCU is the store called The Dance Shop, and we get 10% off on, you know, our purchase. I do wish it was more, because we all know that dance clothes can be pretty pricey, especially if you're buying point shoes and all that stuff. But you do get 10% off of your purchase if you have your TCU ID with you. Do not forget your TCU ID, because I forgot mine many times and did not get that discount. So bring your TCU ID. But yes, to answer your question, plain and simple, we do get a discount on dance attire. So now moving into our last and final question. This is about showgirls, cheerleading, and sororities. And basically, do I know people, and are there people that I dance with who are in these things? So yes. I know one person who is a part of the TCU showgirls, and then I know a ton of people who are part of sororities. Cheerleading, no one is a cheerleader in the dance department. Not that you can't be, but I just, you know, dance and cheerleading are complete opposites, so I don't really understand how it would work. But anyway, in terms of sororities and showgirls, there's one person who is a showgirl. I don't know how she does it, because like, as a dance major, dance always comes first. But I also feel like as a showgirl, like, showgirls comes first. So it's like, how do you figure it out? Like, how do you schedule everything? So she must be a superhero, because it is very difficult, but clearly it is possible. So if you're interested in being a showgirl, then go ahead and, you know, check that out too. I'll put the information down below. And then sororities. A ton of people are in sororities in the dance department, and you know, it's very possible, very doable, and all that such. Yeah, I'm personally not in a sorority. I wasn't really like all that interested in being in one. But it definitely is possible. I believe rush happens like 2 weeks before school starts. I know that during COVID it happened when school actually started, but all I guess to say that it is possible, and managing your time to, you know, be within it and still be active in the sorority but also in the dance department is very much possible and doable. So yeah, I know people who are in sororities. Okay, so we have unfortunately reached the end of our last video in our So You Want to Be a Dance Major series, but as I mentioned earlier, I will be posting college videos every Friday, so make sure you are subscribed and that you hit that notification bell right next to it. That way you're notified immediately when our next video goes up. I think that's all we have to cover. Again, if you ever have questions about college, TCU, being a dance major, anything, don't be shy to leave a comment down below. I will gladly answer your question. If I can't answer it directly in the comments and I reply to you, then I will, you know, make a video out of it if I feel there are more people who will probably have that question. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this series. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.